Yo, what's really good, people? It's Curtis back with another portfolio update. Just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been subscribed to the channel from the beginning, and those of you that have subscribed recently. I'm on my way to trying to get to 250 subscribers, so if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you want to know anything about investing and you're new to the channel and there's certain topics you might want me to cover to try and make the whole world of the stock market or investing easier to you, then let me know in the comments on any one of my videos. I'll definitely respond and try and make sure that, within a reasonable time frame, I produce a video that's all answers any of those questions. But on to the topic of today. So today, as you can see, there is something missing. It's called Man Group. I've sold my very first stock today, which is Man Group, all 288 shares. I didn't leave any shares within Man Group. The reason why I sold Man Group was just that there was no positive movement consistently. It was laying flat, it was declining. You guys, if you follow my previous portfolio updates, you will consistently see that Man Group and Sentiment have been performing quite poorly. But Man Group particularly has just not shown any sort of positive movement, whereas Sentiment did previously. There's a negative growth forecast. So when I look at the fundamentals of Man Group, the actual growth forecast is actually quite negative by about 3.1% loss. This year is probably what they're expected to take. It's also my first instant order. I just waited until it was in a little bit of profit, about £3 profit. I made an instant order, charged me £1, and I made like £2 profit. So I just wanted to get rid of Man Group from my portfolio, and then distribute that funds into two other stocks. So I put 25% of it into Aviva, and as you can see, that takes my Aviva portfolio to just over £1,000. And the reason being is just because it pays the highest dividend. And I put 75% into Vodafone. So I've added quite a lot, as you can see here, into Vodafone. That was about 75% of the shares that I sold with Man Group, and that's just because Vodafone hasn't been performing that great, but I've only just acquired it, so I'll give it some time to grow. But yeah, I've sold Man Group, and I think for me it felt like the right decision to do. Now, as you can see, Sentiment is about 9%, 10% down. I won't sell on Sentiment as it's too far down. I consider it either a buying opportunity or an opportunity to hold. So at the moment, I'm just going to hold Sentiment. I will wait for it to rise and see how it goes over the coming weeks and months. There are some other mining companies that are looking really good from a fundamental standpoint, those being Acacia and also Glencore. So it might be an opportunity to switch to another mining organization. I do want to keep my portfolio as diversified as possible. So if I was to sell Sentiment, I will try and buy another mining organization, and there's positive growth sentiment in both Glencore and Acacia, so that might be one to watch specifically for me. Sticking with the sort of energy market and renewable energies, I bought First Solar. As you can see, I only bought one share, and this was potentially a risky investment. As you can see, it's quite volatile from the graph, but it's done really well. I bought at a good time, and it's 12% up, £4.66 at the moment. So obviously I only bought one share. Kind of wish I bought more shares of it now, because I was actually maybe a little bit cautious with this particular investment, but it has impressed me. So I am going to wait for it to dip before I buy more. Luckily, my next round of investing isn't until the end of the month, so hopefully it would have dipped by then, and then I can buy more at a more reasonable price. But really impressed with the growth in First Solar. In terms of dividends, I'm now not going to receive my Man Group dividend because the ex-dividend date was in the next week or so. So I have sacrificed about £11.69, which was the forecasted dividend. And also the Voda dividend has passed, which 75% of the Man Group funds went to. So I have sacrificed a little bit of that. Maybe it wasn't the best decision to do, and maybe I should have held at least until I got that dividend payment. But I just kind of wanted to get it out of the portfolio. The 25% that went to Aviva does mean that my Aviva dividend payment is now going to be roughly about £52. So I have kind of regained some of those funds a little bit. Now, I should have received a Barclays dividend payment today, about £9.40. but free trade has not paid me my dividend today. So I have sent a message in the live chat. However, they've gone home for the weekend, so I'm now going to have to wait until Monday in order to speak to them. So I would just say a word of caution to everybody. Just make sure you have your dividend payment dates set out, put it in a spreadsheet, put it in your phone, put a calendar reminder, and make sure you know when you're expected to be paid. I see it just like a salary. It's your money. Although it's small figures now, it can obviously grow to be big figures later on. So just make sure you stay on top of your payments and double check. I did see this in the community with another individual really early on when I first joined free trade, that they were waiting for, I think it was an Apple dividend, and they didn't receive it, and some people did and some people didn't. So I will contact them on Monday and find out where is my money when it comes to Barclays, because I should have received that dividend, but I'm sure there's going to be a straightforward reason as to why that is. The next 3 ex-dividend dates coming up that I need to consider is Verizon, Aviva and Barrett. I've oversubscribed to Aviva now, way oversubscribed. So I'm not going to be adding any more money there, neither to Barrett and probably neither to Verizon, as they're coming up within the next week anyway. So I probably won't add no more funds to this portfolio until the end of the month. That's probably the approach I'm going to take. My overall portfolio now is sitting at about 8.5% profit. So invested £6,510 and 25p profit. Sentiment really drives the market. That's something I've noticed recently. So, now there's hopes for a US-China trade deal, which should be successful. There's, a positive outlook on having a smoother Brexit and stronger economic data in China and the Eurozone. So those factors have contributed to my portfolio rising back to its normal position, whereas it dropped quite considerably over the last week, as you guys know from the previous video. In terms of dividends, I'm at about a 0.3% dividend payment once Barclays gets through, and about 2.9% overall for this next round of dividends. As you can see, today is the 5th of April, which means that this tax year has effectively ended. So in terms of the ISA allowance, having 20,000 per tax year, that's now going to be reset from tomorrow. So from tomorrow I can add another 20,000 for the next tax year. We'll see how we get on with the portfolio and if I obviously make that mark. But you're seeing this pretty little orange icon up here, which now also means that I've got a basic account as well as my investment ISA. So I can start looking into and start considering how I might split up my investment pots and portfolio. Originally I wanted to keep US stocks in the basic account and UK stocks in the investment ISA. Potentially there's no need to really do that, so I'm going to look at what is probably the best approach for me, sort of splitting these two up. I might actually look at some ETFs and put the ETFs in the basic account, actually, just because I have been considering adding some ETFs to the portfolio, particularly just one tracking the S&P 500, but there's a few other ETFs that I might need to look into, so that might be a consideration to add into the basic account. But yeah, that's a portfolio update for this week. I wanted to keep it nice, succinct, really sweet. If you like the videos and you're new and you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. I try and create portfolio updates, general topic videos. I've just put a video on the differences between gambling and investing, which I think is a really important topic for new investors. There's been some comments about me creating a new video about tax and the implications for new investors. I'm more than happy to create as many videos as possible for you guys, as long as you guys find it valuable. So get in the comments, let me know what videos you want created. Please check out some of the previous videos if you're new to the channel, and hopefully we can grow this channel to 250 subscribers by the end of the week. Probably won't get it by the end of this week, but if I can get somewhere near maybe another 25 subscribers, then I'll be happy, and we can have a new target set for the next week. But all the best. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope everything is going well with your portfolios, and I wish you all the best. And last but not least, as I always say, happy investing. Take care, guys.